use my degree and get a real job. So, armed with a teaching qualification, I set out for Japan, where the mountains are really good and the snow is exceptional. But I was having the time of my life, loving the culture, learning the language, enjoying teaching. It was just indescribable how much fun I was having. And I spent every minute that I had off up in the mountains practicing snowboarding. And this little dream ticked away inside me, buzzed away, and I thought, if I could win a local race, then perhaps I could write to I could write to companies, and then maybe I could get some sponsorship. Then I could train really hard, and maybe I could get to the Olympics. So I heard about a race, and I entered it, and I knew I had to give it everything. I sat in the start alongside the Japanese girls, and I was determined to give it my all. My brother was the only person that knew that I was doing this race. His advice to me was to push hard at the start, pick up as much speed as I could, and just get out in front. So that's what I did. The starter had us out the gate, shot out, over the first bumps, round the first roller, and it was going well. I jumped the first jump, and we're talking 30-foot jumps. So from me to the pillar over there, I'd say. Jumped the first jump, that was good. Landed it, round the corner. Over the next jump, and I was out in the lead. It was going well. And I hit the jump after that, at speed, and as I landed, I had a bit of a wobble, and then I remember, suddenly the corners started coming at me too quickly, and I began to feel a bit out of control. And I clung on, but I took off over the next jump, and then I had a monumental crash. I don't remember the impact. I just remember looking up and seeing my friend near me, and it didn't feel right. My legs felt really strange, heavy. And I said to my friend, will you please take off my snowboard, because it doesn't feel right? And she said, we already have. Then they took me down to the bottom of the mountain in an ambulance. I wanted to punch the ambulance driver every time we went round a corner. It really hurt. And then I woke up in hospital, and Dr. Ito explained to me that I'd broken my back, and because your spinal cord runs down your back, and that sends messages to all of your body, and I damaged my spinal cord, he said, I think you have about 98% chance that you'll never walk again. And that was hard. I'd always been so active. And I lay there in hospital, and I've never felt so scared and so helpless. I faced life in a wheelchair, and I knew that I would never snowboard again. And I thought, how will I be able to have fun if I can't do what I love most in the world? And it was difficult. My family came and visited me, and my friends were wonderfully supportive. And it wasn't until a friend of mine, a Canadian who I used to snowboard with, came to visit me, and he said, dude, look at this picture. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a guy flying through the air on a monoski, and it looked, I thought, that looks awesome. Whatever I do, I'm going to have a go at that. And my friend organised for me to speak to the man in the photo, who's a former Paralympian. He's a Canadian guy. Don't know if there are any Canadians out there, but if there are, I'm really sorry. I'm going to try the accent. He went, oh, it's totally awesome. That's all I'll do for that. He told me how incredibly liberating it feels to ride on one of these things. And that was it. I said, I'm going to try it. The doctors said, not for a year you're not. You need to get fit and healthy, you need to get strong. So I was repatriated when I was fit enough back to the UK. I spent 4 months in hospital. Long, long months. But I have this picture at the end of my bed. And this is what picked me up when I had a tough day. Because I knew that I'd set myself that goal. I was going to get on snow again. The first day my brothers came to visit me in hospital, we just laughed uncontrollably for the whole evening because I think there was so much pent-up emotion. But they've been an incredible support, and I came out of hospital, I moved home with my mum, and many of you will also have incredible mums. If it wasn't for my mum and her nagging, I wouldn't be able to move my legs. But now, I can't stand up, but I can move my legs quite well, and the doctors were really surprised. And that's because Mum helped me physically lifting and moving my legs. She's incredible. So, I pushed on. Dad's advice was to get a job. So, I started volunteering in a local school, teaching the foreign children how to speak English. And my self-confidence grew. I tried new sports, I made new friends. I actually met the man who would become my husband. And a year after the accident, I found myself abroad with my older brother Luke, learning just how difficult it is to balance on a single ski. I had a very frustrating few days because I just couldn't do it. But I stuck at it, fell over. What do you think I did after I fell over? Got back up again. We've got hands up at the back, you're very polite. Thank you. Yeah, got back up again, fell over again. Got back up again, and so it went on. But I practiced, and by the end of the week I was absolutely loving this sport. And I said, I want to do more of this. So I decided I'd do more of it. Came home, practiced as much as I could, and then the British team heard about me, and they came and did a trial, and they invited me to join the British Disabled Ski Team Development Squad. It's on the team! I will never forget my first camp with Britain's best. It was just mind-blowing. But the team said to me, there isn't any funding, so go away and get good. And then, if you're good enough, we'll take you on seriously. That's what I did. That became my sole focus. And that's when all the hard work started. How do you get good at something? Well, you practice. And in terms of sport, you get fit and strong. I trained hard. Got bigger biceps than both my brothers. And they're not weedy. And I put everything into it. And 4 years after becoming paralysed, I was selected for the British Paralympic team on my way to the Vancouver Paralympics. That was 6 years ago. No, that was 8 years ago, sorry. What an experience. Now, nowadays it's on TV, but back then it wasn't on normal TV. It was on Eurosport. So there I was at the Paralympics in the team kit. All these tracksuits, loads of pairs of trainers. It was really cool. But I had never competed in front of big crowds. I'd never competed in front of TV cameras. I was really nervous. I felt sick in my stomach. I remember thinking, I shouldn't be here. I'm the least experienced athlete on the whole circuit. I've done this for less long than anybody. I don't know what I'm doing. But I stayed calm, I managed to focus. In the slalom, you do 2 runs. I did my first run, got to the bottom. It it was okay having fallen over. And then I rang my brother Ben on the phone, and he'd just been round to his friend's house and watched me on Eurosport. And he said, give it everything. And he said, Anna, you've got nothing to lose. And he helped me to believe in myself once again. And I went out there and I skied the best slalom run that I'd ever done at that point. And I was rank outsider and I finished 6th in the world. What an experience. Brilliant. And then I set my next goal. I said, I'm going to go on to compete in the next Paralympics. Does anyone know where the last Winter Paralympics was? Yeah? Sochi, yeah. I said, I'm going to get to Russia. And I'm going to do my country proud. Over the next 4 years, I won 6 World Cup medals. That's the top level. Proud of them. 2 silver and 4 bronze. Here I am representing my sponsors because there was still no funding. So I had to go out there and approach hundreds of companies and try and persuade people to give me money so that I could go and compete in my sport, do what I love most. But it wasn't all easy. It was hard work. We're talking up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I bet most of you aren't. Out at temperatures of minus 40 degrees where if you take your glove off, your hand instantly aches with the cold. But I worked hard at it. And then on my way to the next World Cup races in Canada, I was in the airport, lining up with 40 or 50 other international athletes, ready to go. I knew that I had won medals, World Cup medals. I knew that I stood a chance of a Paralympic medal. And I knew that I was just outside the qualifying criteria for the team, but how could they not take me? I had such a good chance. And then, in the airport, I received a phone call, and the team said to me, unfortunately, you haven't been selected for the Sochi Paralympics. Well, there was no question in my mind. I was